Hi, my name's Nick Faye. It's time for another episode of Road Stories. So, my road story is about the first time I was on tour. We played in Halifax. Like, as a young artist, maybe 20 years old, whatever I was, I'd only heard amazing things. Sloan was from there, etc. Halifax is this cool music city. So, how we booked it is this was the time when punk DIY message boards were still a big thing. So I reached out on the local Halifax locals punk website and was like, hey, we'll play anywhere. We're just looking for a show. So a promoter reached out. They're like, hey, I'll totally put on a show for you. Give me a little bit of time to put it together. A couple days later, he reached out again. He was like, hey, I got a show for you. I'll work the door. This band will play. It's going to be a great night. It'll be at this venue, the Foggy Goggle in Halifax. And yeah, it'll be great. So we were super pumped. We were like, wow, that was easy. We got a show in Halifax. So basically, as the date was getting closer, we tried to get a hold of him. It just wasn't responding. We were like, it might be canceled. And finally, he responded with, okay, here's the deal. I know, sorry it's late, a couple days away from the show. I can't work the door anymore. The band can't play with you, but the date is still there if you want it. So we were a little bummed. We were like, cool, still got a show in Halifax. So we get there and it's like International Fleet Week in the harbor. So there's all these Australian, British, American, Canadian naval officers, sailors, whatever you call them. And so they're all in town. It's like nighttime. They're ready to party hard. So it's this venue filled with like all these drunk sailors, and so we go up there. I went first. I was playing my set, just like sad folk acoustic songs, sad man music. But just looking out in the crowd, like nobody cared. No one was like, they were just so focused on drinking, didn't care about the music. So then we switched. I went to go work the door, and he was playing his set. My friend that I was on tour with. As I was working the door, there were all these like super jacked like Navy officers coming, be like, "Oh, I just need to use the washroom," and I'm like, "Sorry, man, it's $5. Like that's our money. We're playing for this." And then eventually, people just like started like walking in because there was no security, and like I was just a scrawny dude. Like, what was I gonna do? So as I was working the door, the waitress comes up to me and is like, "Hey, our patrons hate your music. Can you play anything more fast paced?" So I sheepishly go up in the middle of my friend's set and like, "Hey, come here." So he leans down and he's like, "What?" Like, I'm playing my set, and I'm like, "Yeah, they don't like our music. They want us to play stuff more fast paced," kind of sheepishly relaying that message. So I went back to the door. He kept playing. He just wound up playing all of his songs a double time. So it wasn't like we played more upbeat music. It was just that we just played everything we knew faster. After the show, we made like $40 collectively. We didn't have a place to stay, so we were driving a '93 like Honda Accord or whatever, and we found a parking spot in front of a condo somewhere, and we just like went, leaned the seats back and went to bed. Had an awful sleep, and we got woken up at like 6 a.m. by someone who was mad that we slept in front of their condo. So yeah, that was my first time playing in Halifax, and yeah, that was a road story.